They walked right into the lion's den. Cutting someone off mid-thought is already a bold move, but doing it to Joe Rogan? Definitely not smart. Spoiler alert, it backfires. Joe doesn't take interruptions lightly, especially not on his own show. From Neil deGrasse Tyson to Steven Crowder, we're looking at some unforgettable moments where guests found that out the hard way. Even Jamie wasn't safe and got caught in the crossfire once. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss more videos like this.
Distant future, you can just redirect a comet and get all the water you need, but
how far distant is that?
the comet's everywhere, dude. We're in a shooting gallery.
Yeah, that's not what I asked.
Oh,
how far away do you think it is before we could redirect?
How far away in time?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Because when ice melts, it takes up lower volume than it was when it became ice. And that's why pipes break.
I thought pipes break just because the water expands.
Yeah, I just described that in the opposite direction.
Oh, so because as it freezes it, but I didn't know it gets larger.
That's what expansion means. What kind of what's with your vocabulary here? Whatever is your concept, the discoveries of astrophysicists bring you closer to it.
I get your perspective. Let me be the opposing view. They feel
No, I'm not trying to.
No, I know you're not.
This is just information.
Okay.
This is information, and I walk out of the room.
Believe it or not, this wasn't Neil's first time on the show, so you'd think he'd understand how things usually go. But nope. He was back at it with his usual habit of taking over the conversation. Sure, his scientific points are interesting, no question about that, but there's only so much time one person can dominate, especially when he keeps jumping in every 5 seconds like he's racing the clock. You could see Joe's patience starting to wear thin, and the whole vibe was getting more awkward by the minute.
I think the real problem, too, is I think it's
if you
incredibly
value mountain climbing.
That's the thing about
By the way,
water.
every
if you
glass.
drink
Do you see
water,
this?
People's pee is in it.
That's correct.
How much of a
By the way, all the
boon to
glaciers are
society-
fresh water. Here's something that no one talks about. When the glaciers melt, where does the water go? Where does it go? Just tell me. You know the answer. Just
into the ocean.
back in the ocean. That's the map of dark matter in the universe. The three-dimensional map.
I've tried to give that a shot.
Yes.
No, we don't know what it is, so don't worry about it if you don't understand
Yeah,
it.
but it's too goddamn confusing for me. I
No,
don't like
it's not confusing at all.
loose ends.
It's not. It's something out there that has 85% of the gravity of the universe, and we don't know what the hell it is.
That's not confusing.
It's not confusing. It's
If you don't know what the hell
confusing.
it is, it's confusing by nature. When I've talked to other astrophysicists and scientists,
Wait, let me ask: are these conversations supposed to have a theme or a purpose, or is it just you sit there and just whatever comes to your head you send my
Who,
way?
you and me?
Yeah.
Well, clearly, it's just whatever comes to my
Okay,
head.
I don't know.
That's if Joe even gets a chance to say what he's thinking. The comments section went wild after this episode. One viewer joked, "I feel like Neil deGrasse Tyson didn't let the guests speak much," while another added, "Imagine 2 Neil deGrasse Tysons in a room, it'd be a black hole of interruption. Neither one could talk, and they'd implode under the weight of their own non-stop commentary." Up next is Adam Curry, who made the bold move of cutting Joe off before he could even finish asking a question.
If they decided to have an Apple coin,
No,
and
that's-
you'd buy all Apple products with Apple phones, Apple iMacs, and
No.
you just invest in. What do you mean? No, hold please.
I'm gonna tell
Let
you
me,
what it
hold
is.
please. Let me finish. You let people invest in being a part of the company. So you buy coins, and through those coins, you can buy products, and you can invest a certain amount. And the coins go up, you actually make money. The coins go down, you lose money. And as the company keeps doing better, it's almost like another version of stocks or something. And you buy it all through that. Is that possible?
Possible.
Now that you heard me all the way through.
Sorry,
Is that possible?
it's a very bad habit
No,
I have.
that's okay.
It's- 'cause
You're just
I'm
excited to
such
talk.
I am. I'm fucking know-it-all. I'm very
No,
excited
you're smart.
about it. That's
You're
it.
excited to talk.
If you don't know who he is, Adam Curry is basically the original podcaster. Some even call him the Podfather. He and Dave Weiner created a program called iPod that let people download internet radio broadcasts directly to their iPods. And hey, I couldn't help but notice you haven't liked the video or subscribed yet. What are you waiting for? Now, I've got to give Adam credit for how quickly he recovered. He realized he was interrupting and pulled back right away. But nothing tops the fiery exchange between Joe and Steven Crowder. It's easily one of the most unforgettable moments in the show's history.
That's
medicine.
not necessarily true if people are allowed to
Maybe
grow
it's
it
not
themselves.
necessarily true. I'll give you that. But I also think it's not necessarily true that the reason people can't smoke up is because Big Pharma is sitting somewhere, Martin Shkreli going, oh, let's make pot illegal.
Well, not that
That's
guy.
my only point.
But there are absolutely people who have lobbied, as we talked about how the prison guard union has lobbied to keep marijuana illegal. There's absolutely pharmaceutical companies have done the same thing. It was revealed in the WikiLeaks memos.
See, this is where I was saying
Hold on, don't interrupt me. Where Hillary Clinton said that she's against marijuana in every sense of the word, right? You remember those
Trump's pretty
WikiLeaks
against it,
papers
too.
that came out?
Yeah.
Is he? He said he would leave it up to the states.
Yeah.
That's actually a constitutional approach.
Cannabis is one topic you definitely don't want to bring up casually with Joe Rogan, unless you're fully ready for a passionate, no-holds-barred debate. Joe's been vocal about it for years, always pointing out its benefits and calling out what he sees as myths or unfair double standards. His passion is obvious, and sometimes it even comes off as a bit defensive, especially when someone challenges him. The moment weed is mentioned, you can almost see Joe gearing up to hit back with a flood of facts and personal stories. But Crowder isn't the type to back down, and that's exactly what lit the spark for this intense exchange.
Colorado.
Yeah. But another thing that we just wrote about, and again, people get mad with the
Economics.
weed issue. Well, no. Traffic fatalities regarding marijuana have skyrocketed.
Google that, because that's nonsense.
No, we wrote about it live on better.com.
Drunk driving arrests have dropped. What do you mean you've... First of all...
No, we wrote about what the sources
First of
are, the
all,
original studies.
Just because someone gets in an accident and they're high...
See,
because... Hold on. Stop.
No, hold on a second. This is
you
because you just
interrupt
want-
way too much.
No, no,
You need to stop.
you talk
Hold
in
on a
paragraphs.
second. No. I don't talk in
Go ahead.
paragraphs. I make full points. If people are high a lot and the same amount of fatalities exist, but the people that get checked once they get into these accidents happen to be high, it does not necessarily mean that marijuana caused those fatalities. It could be that you have an increased incidence of people doing marijuana and altercations that could not have been avoided.
It could be.
It could be.
But the statistical change is measurable.
Well, what is
from
it?
pre and
You're
post.
talking about in Colorado.
In states where it's been decriminalized
Let's
or
go
legalized.
with Colorado.
And it went on like that for a full 10 minutes. The comments section blew up, with people roasting Joe and calling him an a-hole for how he handled the situation. Eventually, he posted a long apology on Instagram. Part of it said, "Well, this one went off the rails for a while. First of all, I genuinely like Steven as a person, and although I might not agree with him on everything, I think he's a good man." He explained that during the podcast they started talking about marijuana, and by that point, especially Joe, they were pretty drunk and didn't handle the conversation well. He added, "Judging by my personal level of regret after this reaction, I messed up. I take 100% responsibility for it going off the rails, and I'm truly sorry if it upset any of you who listen to or watch this. Honestly, I don't think he needed to apologize, but it really shows what kind of person he is." And to finish things off, let's talk about one of the rare times Jamie caught a stray. And yeah, it's actually kind of hilarious.
Huge turnout, Joe.
Huge turnout.
Gigantic.
turnout.
What's the number?
I'll pull them up for you right now.
It was 102 early.
Whoa.
And
I didn't vote because I felt too many people were voting.
Get this.
Isn't the early vote more than all of the vote from
No, it was
Yes.
some years?
Oh,
Yes,
some
that's what I was
years,
going to say. For Texas
How about
specifically.
you let him answer since he's the f***ing expert?
You're looking at me.
Jamie's like, no.
For Texas specifically, yes. Texas passed the total number of votes in their